with the clinic, you get hands-on experience with real clients that come to you with very real, sometimes intense problems, and it's a chance for you to really experience what it is to be a lawyer.
This podcast is a production of Widener Law Commonwealth in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. For more information, visit commonwealthlaw.widener.edu/podcast.
Hello and welcome to Widener Law Commonwealth's podcast. I'm your host, Tara Mead. Many prospective and current law students spend a great deal of time in class and, of course, reading and studying. One of the benefits Widener Law Commonwealth offers its students is the opportunity to put the skills that you learn in the classroom into practice. We're going to talk with two current students, Emily LaGreca and Kimberly Marrera, both second-year students, who will share their extern and internship experience and why they have been so valuable to them as they move forward in pursuing their legal careers. Emily and Kimberly, welcome. Now, Emily, if you don't mind, I will start with you, but Kimberly, you're next. So, first off, Emily, I know I had the chance to talk with you not too long ago. We did a special externship profile with you, and you talked about your experience with the U.S. Navy JAG Corps in Washington, D.C., and specifically working with the commander of the Navy Installation Command. So, when you first started looking into doing an externship, did you specifically look for this one, or did you decide that, hey, maybe I'll try, this out. I heard about this. I talked to other students, et cetera, and then you figured out that would be a good experience for you. And can you talk a little bit also about what you did there?
Yeah, so for me, I kind of came into law school not knowing what I wanted to do, and it was on our Intro to Legal Process class. I talked to an older student who interned for the Army, and for me personally, my family has no military background, so I knew that was something I would want to get firsthand experience with doing it if I chose to do it after law school. So it's just kind of one of the many avenues I was considering.
What was it that you did, when you were in this externship? From what you were telling me and from what I remember, this was a couple of months ago, but you got to do a lot of sort of neat things there. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so the office I worked in did a lot of ad hoc kind of work, so I got exposure to a lot. My specific office was in charge of all the other offices on the shore, so the land installations, and some of the legal work I was able to do was rereading case files to make sure that there was nothing that came up in trial or in court that shouldn't have happened. I was able to sit in on will signings and look over wills. I worked on some sexual assault cases, and then one of the really cool aspects that my specific internship gave me is I was able to also do PT with the Navy, which was really cool because it allowed allowed me to go outside and have that camaraderie with the people in my office outside of just doing legal kind of work.
Mm-hmm. And that probably you got to know them a little bit better too, and sort of maybe pick their brain about what their experience has been like as well.
Yeah, for sure. We would talk about now after doing my internship. It's something I'm really considering doing post law school. I've actually applied to join after I get out of school, but it was nice to hear all of their experiences of all the places they've been and the kind of things that they've worked on in different countries and the issues that arise there, and then also just all the different, legal areas that you can work in when you're in the Navy JAG, because you go on a bunch of different tours, which is pretty much
So it's nice. It gives you some exposure to some of the different law sectors within.
Yes, and you have the flexibility to kind of move around in what you do, so it's not like you're specializing in one specific area, which was cool.
That's really cool. So, Kimberly, I know your experience has been a little bit different, but can you talk about your work with the Central PA Law Clinic and what was that like? Or were there particular cases or elements of law that you got into during your time there?
So with the clinic, you get hands-on experience with real clients that come to you with very real, sometimes intense problems, and it's a chance for you to really experience what it is to be a lawyer. I honestly went in there wanting to improve my speaking skills, gain more confidence, and I did work at a firm before as a paralegal, but I never made face-to-face with clients. I never really built that rapport with the client. So with the clinic, you meet your clients, you interview them, you're doing research about how to solve their problems. You're really answering all their questions. So I think that's my favorite part about the clinic, is that I am a baby lawyer, as I put it. I'm helping them figure out their problems.
So were there any particular types of cases that really stick in your mind as either the most challenging, the most memorable, those, sorts of experiences?
Currently, I have 10 open cases.
Wow.
So each of them, from divorce to estate planning, I have a domestic issue, landlord-tenant, but there's this one case that has really, that's where I've gotten a lot of my learning experiences from. It's a landlord and tenant case. I had my first status conference in front of a judge with this case, where it's informal. You're just talking to the judge about where we're currently at and a time frame of where we want to be with that case. But HIPAA rules, but keeping it as much as...
agreed. Yep.
You're learning about some very serious experiences that these clients are going through, and it's very fast-paced, this one case. It's always changing. I'm constantly going to the prothonotary. I always say that wrong.
That's a tough word, yeah.
Let's go with the proth. To file something for that case so that we can move it along. I'm always keeping this client updated on what's coming next, what he wants to know, if he wants any updates. So this is the one case where not only have I gotten the chance to speak in front of a judge and file and learn how to discovery. There we go. Learn how to be an actual lawyer. This is the one that's done that for me. So other than that, I'm usually answering phones, answering questions for the clients, and doing all of that.
And, this question could go to either one of you, but what was it like for you, where you're in the classroom and you're learning all of this knowledge and you're learning about, cases and, process and discovery and, all of those things. How is that, when you go from that to, say, in your case, Kimberly, where you're working with legal clients, or Emily, where, you're on a base and, you're getting really deeply entrenched into particular cases. So either one of you want to jump in and answer that question, great.
As much as I love being in the classroom and having that whole atmosphere, I feel like things really click for me when I see how they play out in real life. So going through a whole year of law school and learning all this new information and really, I guess, delving into it, because it's the first time I've ever really had knowledge in the whole legal realm and subject matter, seeing how that would play out in real life and in a real courtroom and in the office. It was just really cool to see.
I bet. And I remember in your profile, we included a picture of you, and I think that was you at the Pentagon, right?
It was, yeah. That was my last
Shameless
day.
plug.
I know. I took a lot of fun field trips. We went to, when Top Gun came out, I went to a naval air base, and that was really cool. We got to go up close and personal with the airplanes.
Neat.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And what about you, Kimberly? What was that experience like for you? It sounds to me that you were sort of I get this impression from you. You really had that energy about okay, I want to go in. I've got this knowledge. I want to learn more. I want to really get in there and help people.
Yeah. So I came to law school with an idea of what I really wanted to do, which was immigration or family law. I'm a very people person, I would say. So if you want to go into family law, then you have to work well with people.
That's
I would
pretty
say
true,
it's
yeah.
very intense, vigorous work, and lots of litigation it can be, right? So I had the idea of wanting to come into the clinic to sort of build myself up in that way, to prepare myself mentally and at least to know what that world would look like in the future if I'm going to work in this field. And so with class, of course, you take family law, you learn about the theories, and you learn about what rules are and
Right.
all of that. But then you're given a client and they're like, I want a divorce, or but my partner doesn't want to agree to the divorce. What do I do? That's my job to answer that. And I think the clinic has been a perfect place for me to not only expand on my research knowledge that you learn from school, but also things are changing constantly with your client's case. So you're the one in charge. You need to learn what you need to do.
You really have to
next.
learn how to pivot pretty quickly, it sounds like. So another question for both of you, and I think you both kind of touched on this a little bit, but how do you feel your experiences have prepared you for your future law career? I mean, did it change your mind as far as what legal field you want to work in, or did it cement your original commitment to that particular type of field? It sounds that way for you, Kimberly, but...
Yeah, I was going to say for me, I kind of came in with an open mind. I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
During undergrad, I kind of always knew law school would be the next step, but I don't have any lawyers in my family, so I had no one to talk about.
Avenues that you could go into?
Yeah, avenues you could go into. So for me, it was kind of a figuring it out on my own type of thing, and then I applied for the Navy on a whim and was like, okay, well, it's something I could see myself doing, but like I said, I don't think I would commit to it without first having this hands-on experience, just because there is the 4-year time commitment. And now that I did it, and my internship was 10 weeks, so I would do it after school.
Nice. Or maybe they'll get you to be an extra in the next Top Gun. So for current and prospective students who are listening to this podcast, what advice do either or both of you would have for them that may be in a situation where they really love the law, but they may think they have an inkling of where they want to go, or in your case, they may not be 100% sure that they're kind of open-minded?
I was going to say, I feel like law school is the perfect avenue to kind of test out all the different areas you could go into, and kind of like it makes it easier to nix things out or be like, okay, yeah, I really like this. So, for example, after my criminal law class, I knew that was not an area I wanted to go into, but then also, okay, I'm having an easier time figuring out what I don't want to do than what I do want to do.
That's good. Yeah.
And you have so many opportunities to get an internship and really have that practical hands-on experience. Like last semester, I interned with a judge downtown, and that was family law. And I also, no offense, I now know that is not for me. But then again, you also have the classroom atmosphere where I'm like, okay, I like my business classes, I like my tax class, so it kind of allows you to figure out what you do like and then also what you don't like. And you, like I said, you have so many opportunities to get an internship. You have the semesters you're in school, you can get one. You have your 2 summers that you can get one.
Okay. What about you, Kimberly? What was your experience? I mean, what sort of advice would you give to students?
I would say definitely just go in with an open mind. Reach out to anyone you can. I didn't find out about the clinic intentionally. Everyone gets an email if you meet the certain GPA to go to an information session for the clinic, which, in all honesty, I did not see the email. I might have ignored it. But my friend wanted to go to the session, so I went with her. And then it's the perfect time to learn about all of these opportunities you can go into. And with the clinic specifically, you're given different types of laws, like a little taste of everything. Again, it's like estate planning. Then you have some divorces. You have some landlord-tenant. And then there's some other things that are kind of intermingled in there as well. But if you don't know what you want to do, the clinic is a good place to start, maybe, if you want to try everything out. And then there's also professors who will give you opinions on where you can go if you're not sure what you want to do. But definitely reach out to people and ask questions. And then there's CORE, of course, if there's different types of opportunities, internships, externships that are placed there. So
I always think that for our law school, not to brag, but I think one of the advantages that we have is that we are so close to not just the city of Harrisburg, but also, the state capital. So that opens up even more opportunities. And then you think about like Mid-Penn Legal Services and the different nonprofits and all of these other organizations where you can really get your feet wet in a lot of different areas, either working in the summer or, doing some sort of, externship. But I think we've covered in a short amount of time a great deal here. And it's kind of neat to hear both of your experiences and also, of course, the valuable advice that you provide. So thank you both again so much for taking the time to join our podcast today. If you'd like to find out more information about our externship program, you can visit our website, commonwealthlaw.widener.edu. And in the upper right-hand side, put the search option, where the search option is, just type externships. You'll find information on the type of externships available and several current and former students who've shared their externship experiences. You can also find information about the Central PA Law Clinic on our website. Same search option, just put in Central PA Law Clinic in the search box. You can find more information about the clinic, its history, and specific information about student internship opportunities. So thank you again for listening, and until next time, take care and stay connected.
Widener University Commonwealth Law School is the Pennsylvania capital's only law school, with 3 specialized centers of legal scholarship through its Law and Government Institute, Environmental Law and Sustainability Center, and Business Advising Program. Widener Law Commonwealth offers an exceptional learning experience that is personal, practical, and professional. Visit commonwealthlaw.widener.edu for more information.